personality that was my father. Matt was spirited, generous, proud, eccentric, funny, intelligent. He was the most well-read, intelligent person I have ever met. He had a mind like a steel trap for dates, details, and history of any kind. He was passionate about his family and about his many hobbies: hunting, fishing, reading, cooking, playing setback, and the list goes on and on. He believed that anything you put your mind to was achievable. To quote him, "It's in the genes." He worked hard all of his life, had a very successful career at Chrysler. He also worked very hard at his hobbies. He was an avid hunter, and unlike many hunters that hunted for sport, we ate everything, and I mean everything, that he hunted. Growing up, we never knew what would be served for dinner or how long it had been since whatever it was had hopped, crawled, flown, or run across our property. From frogs and squirrels to rabbits, turkeys, and deer, all were fair game, no pun intended. I learned at an early age that if I wanted a friend over for dinner, I had to be very vague about the details, or they would be out the door. Then, because he refused to waste anything, he got a little crazy. Like the time he chased me through the house, I swear to God, holding a mason jar with a marinated deer heart in it and a forkful of it in the other hand. Saying no was not an option, if you know my dad, so I did the next best thing. I locked myself in the bathroom. And he waited. And he laughed like a fool, telling me to just try it. Well, I remember Joe Dias being at our house that day, as he was a lot, and I love him. He was giggling, watching this whole scenario unfold, and he was so confident in me that when Matt approached him with it, he said, "I will eat it right after her." Sorry, Joe, I did have to come out of the bathroom eventually. Then there was the college care package. Most people got Toll House cookies, homemade brownies, and thanks to Ma, I got those as well. But in my senior year, I received in the mail a cylinder poster container. And as you know, most college students go, mail is welcome. I flipped off the end of it and tilted it, and out slid a stiff, smoked eel with a stench of beef jerky. I can still see him chuckling as he mailed that thing to me. I don't even know what he was thinking, what I would do with it. I think I gave it to my boyfriend at the time, because I just didn't know what to do with it. And when I was 16 and had my driver's permit, I remember Ma and Matt and myself driving on the Taconic Parkway South. And Matt asked me if I wanted to drive. I eagerly accepted, thinking it would be a leisurely Sunday drive and I could impress him with my driving skills. I had not even merged into the right-hand lane when he started barking commands. "Speed up, pass him, go around that guy." All I remember were hairpin turns, really narrow lanes, and a guardrail so close to my left that I knew our door handles were going to be sheared off. My back never once touched the back of the seat. I glanced for 1 millisecond in the rearview mirror, and I don't know whose eyes were bigger, me or my mom's. By the time we got home, I was soaking wet, white-knuckled, dry-mouthed, and my knees were shaking, and he just looked at me like, "What's the problem?" He had no idea that I had been traumatized. One of my fondest memories is being at my grandparents' house for holidays and having setback tournaments. It was an absolute rite of passage and requirement in our family to learn the game of setback, which is a card game. It went for all of the cousins, later the spouses and grandkids. We took the game very seriously. It was a privilege and sometimes a curse to play with Matt and my grandparents. I can remember countless times that he would tell me how I should have played a hand differently than I had, but it was always to teach me the finer nuances of the game. My children all play, as do my brother's children, and we all look forward to family gatherings and setback tournaments, complete with the yelling, the fist pounding, and the laughing. Matt, thank you for sharing your love of setback with us, ensuring that the wonderful tradition will live on for countless generations. It has been said that the apple did not fall far from the tree. Where my dad and I are concerned, suffice it to say that our strong and stubborn personalities made for some very spirited discussions. We have both tried very hard in the past few years to move past differences for the sake of our family, and I am very proud and grateful that we did that. Mom, you more than anyone rode the roller coaster of life with Matt. He was so proud to say that you chose him, and as he often did, compare things with animal species. He would say it is always the female that chooses the male, not the other way around. You both endured the loss of a child and survived in no small part to your grace and strength and sheer will that our family would stay intact. Thank you for being his rock. You absolutely bring out the best in people, and you did that in him. In closing, I would like to quote something that a friend of mine sent me this week. Perhaps they are not stars, but rather openings in heaven, where the love of our lost ones shines down to let us know they're happy. Matt, I know you are happy. You've waited 38 years to be with Lisa. Now Lisa, Pop, and Grandma don't have to play cutthroat anymore. You are there to play as partners. Just make sure you leave some room at the table. I love you.